welcome to the Run Testers. I'm Kieran.
I'm Mike.
And today we are here to talk to you about a new set of headphones called the Jabra Elite Active 75T.
There they are.
We have already tested the Jabra Elite 75T on this channel.
Easy for you to remember.
Just got to get these names down. Got to get the names down. These are basically an upgraded version. They've got some new tricks, and we're going to tell you exactly what they are and whether or not you should be investing in them. So, first up, Mike, let's talk about design.
Okay, I mean, this is an interesting one because essentially the Elite Active 75T are identical to the Elite 75T, as I say, hard to remember.
Can we just call them the Actives?
Yeah, Actives, is that easier?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call them the Actives. So yeah, essentially the Actives are near identical. I mean, you can have a look. You've got the same kind of design. There's a few more colours that you will get with the Actives. Some are available now, some will be later in the year. Essentially you get the same ear gels, the replaceable ones in the box. There's no wingtips on these like you get like on some other sports headphones. The big deal here is the kind of differentiators from the other 75Ts is the extra kind of durability you're getting from these headphones. Essentially, you're now getting a IP57 waterproof rating.
What does that mean?
So this is interesting. So what this actually means is these are waterproof and sweat-proof. Now, before you kind of think about kind of going and jumping in a pool with them, I mean, first of all, they're not going to be very useful in a swimming pool anyway because of the Bluetooth, and you're not going to get a good connection. But also, they're not really suitable for swimming. I've spoken to Jabra. I've asked them about this. But technically, they are waterproof, but it's not something you're going to want to take in the pool.
It's right. They're only supposed to be submerged for a certain amount of time, aren't they? In a certain amount of water. So the IP ratings basically explain how long and how deep you can go into water. Yeah,
so I mean, it's more about being more sweat-proof, so when you're using them in the gym or you're just generally out running. And then maybe if you're running in the rain, you've got a bit of extra protection than you would in the kind of normal 75T. So that's really kind of the big deal there.
And I tested the normal 75Ts, and they are IP55, right? And that means they are water resistant as well. So, and I had no problems with them coping with wet runs, rainy runs, sweaty runs. So although these are more durable, I think there's an interesting point about whether or not that extra durability warrants the extra money.
And that's the thing, we should kind of talk it to an extra kind of £20 in terms of the difference of the two models. So you've really kind of got to be sold on having that kind of peace of mind that maybe you've got the extra kind of protection there, but ultimately you haven't had any problems. I don't think there's much in those kind of ratings, those waterproof ratings in those kind of standards. So
I was really kind of hoping that when the Active came out that there was going to be a little bit more than just that extra durability in terms of the sport fit and the kind of sport specific usage. But this is my kind of simplistic take of it, is that these Actives are good if you accidentally drop them down the loo, in the bath, in the sink, and you pull them out quite quickly, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of it's almost like accidental damage to me rather than any kind of swimming use.
Yeah, and as I say, unless you could put music on these and kind of swim with them, then they'd be useful. But you can't do that. This is only Bluetooth and pairing and streaming from your phone. So having that waterproof rating doesn't really make any sense, like really for swimming. If you wanted to swim with. But from a running perspective, I mean, they're pretty much what you want. You've still got the same controls on the outer of the casing, which perform the same functions. You've still got the mics in there. So yeah, same design, that extra kind of protection, but if you've got those 75Ts, it's quite similar in terms of what you're getting. So
nice and lightweight. I think they're they've shaved off some of the weight from the old 65Ts.
Yeah,
both versions, and they're a little bit lighter. There's some changes in the design with they've made the unit a little bit smaller. There used to be a big kind of pokey arm that came out here, and that's gone in these, same as it has in the normal 75Ts, and that makes them a little bit more snug, a little bit more compact. And overall I think it's quite a nice, neat design. The case is nice and small.
Yeah, I mean I'm really big. The case is kind of overlooked sometimes, I think, but especially when there's more of these kind of truly wireless earbuds out. But this one's quite a nice small one, fits nicely in the pocket, like I think, and it's quite light.
It's quite nice and ergonomic. It feels nice.
Yeah. So, and I mean I think in terms of I think the fit and stuff is still exactly the same. I've run outdoors, I've run on a treadmill, kind of interval stuff, and I haven't had any problems in terms of the movement, where, you know, sometimes with a bit of sweat you can kind of have to kind of fiddle around. I haven't had any kind of issues with that.
And Mike did the shake test.
I did the shake test.
And they stay put?
Yeah, so for me, in terms of a fit, I've had no problems. I don't, you know, you've not. I don't think.
No, I mean, again, they're the same as the other ones that I tested, and I found them secure. Actually, I found them good on the run. I think if you're going to be doing kind of something that's maybe a little bit heavy duty down steep hills where, you know, there's a lot of impact, that I tend to prefer a pair that have got wingtips that hook in for security. But actually, these have never fallen out for me yet, so that's a big thumbs up from me. One thing I will say, and I'm nitpicking here, but about the case, there's no hook. On some of the cases with the true wireless now, you get a little hook which you can put a cord through. And if you're putting that in your bag, it means you always know where the case is.
Yeah.
And then if you get in the habit of always putting your buds back in the case, you're less likely to lose the buds as well. So that is it's a small thing, but I think it makes quite a nice difference.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd say, it's got the new USB-C charging, which is good.
It gives you the quicker charging as well, so which is a really nice touch. So yeah, that's kind of really, like we said, the design is very similar. So I guess we'll get into kind of features and kind of the sound performance.
So Mike, biggie on true wireless earbuds, headphones, battery life.
It's definitely, I mean, it's definitely a thing for me. You know, those kind of early generation wireless earbuds were like a few hours, and now we're getting to a point where we're getting stuff you can comfortably use for your training and also kind of for the entire day. So with the Actives, you're getting 7.5 hours off a single charge, and then obviously you've got the charging case. So when you've got the charging case, you've also got 28 hours.
Yeah, in total you'll get 28.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty good. And you know, when I've kind of been using it for running, and you know, sometimes you can get a very noticeable drop off in terms of the battery. I've not really noticed that. I don't know how you found them.
I found them pretty true to that battery life, and you know, another trick. Not everyone want to do this, but you can extend it by using one bud and then the other one. If you're in a desperate situation, I mean, it's if you go ultra and stuff and you want to really conserve and you're out, it's quite a handy thing.
Yeah.
You know, where you can be a bit more situationally aware as well. So that's quite a nice touch. But I thought battery life, that's solid. That's 28 is the. If I might be right in saying that's the top you'll get out of a set of true wireless.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than the AirPods at the moment. You know, in terms of battery performance, in terms of truly wireless AirPods, that's pretty good. So I definitely want to talk about fast charge technology. We're starting to see on kind of phones, but I think, you know, it definitely makes most sense on kind of these. When you forget to charge over, do you want to quickly go out for a run? So a 15-minute charge will get you like an hour of a kind of workout and run, which is, you know, is pretty good. Exactly the kind of thing you want, and I love that feature.
By the time you finish prattling about working out what shorts to wear,
yeah,
or whether or not you're actually going to go for a run,
and that's what I do. So yeah, they're perfect. So yeah, definitely that's a really nice feature to have on top of the already kind of very good battery life.
So Mike, talk me through how the sound is on these.
So for me, I mean, I think when I've spoken to you about it, when I first tried them, is the power. So these have got kind of 6mm drivers, which, you know, enables to kind of get a big, strong, powerful bassy sound, which I think is the overriding feature of what you get, which I love. I mean, that's kind of what I want. I'm sure you found the same.
I found it in the 75Ts. These have proper loudness. You know, if you need an arse kicking when you're feeling down, or you're struggling in the run and you want something to really, really power you through, these go proper loud. Yeah, to the top.
And I think, you know, if you want that kind of detail, you know, not everyone listens to kind of high tempo music and maybe listens to audiobooks and podcasts. You can get that finesse in the sound quality. If you go and use the companion app, you can kind of fiddle around with the equalizer. There's kind of sound profiles that you can kind of select yourself. I find that's really rewarding in terms of finding something a bit more balanced. If you don't want that overriding kind of power, but you can get something a bit more detailed.
You can save 2 profiles on that, I believe. Some other headphones allow you to save more profiles if you had things for the gym, for being in the office, for running on the track, or being on the trails. You could set more profiles, but 2 with these guys, which is pretty handy.
And for me, I mean, I now tested a lot of these truly wireless kind of earbuds aimed at kind of you know sports and workouts, and these are some of the best sounding that I've used, definitely, and ones that I think I'll definitely go back and continue using.
Yeah, cool. Sound is a thumbs up. Yeah. So sound, battery life, but there's some features in these that kind of start to set them apart from some of the other true wireless headphones on the market, or at least they're features that we're now seeing more in the latest generation of true wireless. So what do we got, Mike?
Yes, I think there's a few things. I think the big one, and potentially that I don't use massively, but hear through, I think is a big feature where you can kind of cut out the music and kind of hear your surroundings better. It's from a simple kind of button press, really, and I think the hear through on this works really, really well. I know that you're kind of a fan of it and how it works on the Jabras.
Yeah, and the other thing I think, what that does for me actually, there's a big trend for people buying bone conductors, headphones that let you kind of be open ear so you can hear your surroundings, and these are starting to almost answer that question as well, so you can have more than one device in one device, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You get 2 for 1. It's a 2 for 1 is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But hopefully, hopefully it means it moves to a point where these can be more accepted in terms of when it comes to a race environment as well. Now, it's a bit more kind of difficult to kind of establish whether you're using that hear through stuff, but maybe giving you more options and more headphones to use in race environments where they're a little bit kind of picky in terms of using headphones. So definitely a good feature. And another one that I found really useful, I like drowning out the kind of surroundings when I'm in the gym or kind of out running. So the passive noise cancellation, I think, on these Jabras are very good.
There's no active noise cancellation.
No active noise cancellation, which you get on the AirPods Pro. But I think in terms of how this noise cancellation works on the Jabras, I think they work pretty well, and I found them really good in terms of what you want them to do and kind of, like I say, drown out the noise around you so you can focus on your music. So yeah, I've really liked it.
I know our fellow run tester Nick will be watching this and disagreeing. Nick loves to silence busy roads.
Yeah.
With his active noise cancellation, he's a big fan of the AirPods as a result, but I think we're both in agreement that for the way that we run and what we use them for, it's kind of fine. I like to be able to sort of be a little bit cocooned, but I always like to know roughly what's going on around me, and I think these do that nicely.
And I think that's the thing, you've got the option, and the option to switch between those two things is very easy, and I think that's the most important thing. And the last kind of feature, how big this is for people, the smart assistant kind of integration, so it'll work with kind of Siri and Alexa and those kind of smart assistants. So if you want that kind of functionality and you want to speak and ask
Siri,
questions.
why am I so slow?
Yeah.
Siri, how far is it to the
As it finds a station so I can go home because I'm done with this run. So
Apple, Amazon, if you're all watching, get your voice assistants to answer specific run questions.
Absolutely.
Do it now. We need it.
Yeah.
Siri, how far is it till I'm home?
Yeah.
Simple
thing. So yeah, 3 kind of nice features you've got on top of the kind of usual stuff, but I think they work generally really well. So yeah, definitely.
So the verdict on the Jabra Elite Active 75T.
So I am a big fan. I've been, before the kind of Jabras, I've kind of gone my go-tos, but been the Jabra Vistas, and I think those are great headphones for running as well. These are very good also. I think the design are great. I think the controls are great. The pricing is about right. It's under £200, so I think that's absolutely fine if you're willing to kind of pay that money in that price range. And yeah, battery life is solid as well. So I'm a big fan. I think if you're looking for kind of sporty, truly wireless earbuds specifically for running, these are definitely a great pick.
They're pretty decent value, aren't they? Because they're, getting my prices right, but
yeah.
Apple AirPods $249.
Yeah, so
these guys $179.
Yeah, $179. Yeah, so £20 more than the 75Ts.
So compared to the Apple AirPods, there's quite a lot of features in these that are similar, but that pricing is really nice. And then if we talk about, if you're set on a pair of Jabras, you're not sure whether to go for the 65Ts, the 75Ts, or the active versions of the 75 or the 65. We're going to try and clear that up here. So which of the 4 Jabras should you buy?
Yeah.
Basically for the actives, 75s, you're going to pay £20 more, and you're essentially just paying for the extra durability.
Yeah.
They are the same headphones otherwise. The fit, the build, the design, the battery life, the drivers, the sound quality,
yeah.
Everything is the same. So if you care about whether or not they will break if you accidentally drop them down the toilet, pay the 20 quid. Although you might be able to get insurance for all your gadgets for that. Check it out. I don't know if that's true. I might be making it up. But it's worth a look. If you're thinking about upgrading from or choosing between the 65 T actives,
Yeah.
or the 65Ts to the 75T actives, then there's a lot more in here.
Definitely. I think you know, there's difference inside the charging case, in terms of sound performance, you're getting more battery life as well, and those are kind of things I think as a runner, you know, those kind of things make a difference. So there's more kind of reason to kind of make that upgrade. But yeah, like you said, from the standard 75Ts to the actives, there's a little less in terms of what you're getting. So definitely keep that in mind when you're thinking about whether to upgrade.
If it were my money, I'd go for the 75Ts normal.
Yeah, and I think I would as well. I think the durability, the difference in durability, I think you're probably going to get something quite similar, really. Just the peace of mind of having that extra rating is what you're really getting, I think.
Then the extra 20 quid on a chest strap.
Yeah, there you go.
Which Mikey's going to be reviewing around here somewhere. So yeah, he'll know which one of those to buy as well. But that's the Jabra Elite Active 75T, guys. If you have any questions, if there's anything we've not covered, if you have any comments and criticisms, hit us up in the comments below. Like and subscribe, because Mikey loves that. He really loves that.
That is my thing.
So help me out, keep him happy. Thanks for listening, guys.
And we're out.